With her follow-up to the underrated The Diary of a Teenage Girl, Marielle Heller delivers an astonishingly authentic and poignant true story. Can You Ever Forgive Me is a masterfully directed and profoundly impactful film with outrageously remarkable performances from the two leads, Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant. Can You Ever Forgive Me works for a number of reasons, but the sarcastic and witty screenplay is the obvious highlight of the film. Combining dark comedy with the film's dramatic template works a treat and emphasises the outstanding lead performances. Despite the fact that McCarthy has delivered some tremendous performances over the years, there aren't many film fans that would consider the Bridesmaids actor to be a great dramatic performer. With her incredibly touching portrayal of Lee Israel, however, McCarthy displays how skilled she can be when given the right material and an exceptional director to play with. On paper, Lee Israel is detached, grouchy, and sharp-edged, but McCarthy finds a way to tap into her insecure and vulnerable side, resulting in a fully developed and sympathetic character. As for Richard E. Grant, with his portrayal of Jack Hawke, he turns in what is undoubtedly his best performance since the outstanding Whitnale and I. Much like McCarthy, Grant finds a way to turn this boozy and somewhat slimy individual into a three-dimensional character who the audience can easily side with and understand. As brilliant as McCarthy and Grant are as individuals, though, it's the connection between the two actors and the unique relationship between the characters that makes Can You Ever Forgive Me great. There's never a dull moment when these two characters come together, and it's endlessly fun to sit back and watch the back and forth between these surprisingly humorous individuals. Heller's contributions as the director can't be overlooked, especially when you see how much authenticity and emotion she's able to draw out of the screenplay and the performances. Tackling this story couldn't have been an easy task for a filmmaker, mostly because of the complex and often unlikable characters, but thanks to Heller's attention to detail and her unrelenting ability to focus on the humans within the story, we're able to not only side with Lee, but also understand her on an emotional level. With this kind of film, the director is often left on the sidelines while the performances receive all the recognition, but Heller's incredible work behind the camera is visible in every scene and every frame of this movie. While Can You Ever Forgive Me certainly has some intense moments, the film struggles to make the audience understand the consequences that the characters could potentially face. Heller spends a great deal of time developing the characters and focusing on the performances, but the director doesn't take the necessary time to show how much trouble Lee is causing for herself and the people around her. Even in the most intense scenes, it never truly feels like Lee and Jack are in any danger of being caught, and while I certainly wouldn't sacrifice any character development or time with these performances, the film would be stronger overall if more time was spent focusing on Lee's crimes and the potential consequences of her actions. Overall, aided by a wonderfully witty screenplay and some of the best dramatic performances in recent memory, Marielle Heller has cooked up an incredibly compelling, seriously hilarious, and deeply emotional piece of cinema. You'll walk into the cinema wondering why you should care about Lee Israel, and walk out completely amazed by this story and, more importantly, these incredible performances. To give Can You Ever Forgive Me a score out of 10, I've decided to go with a 9.5. To hear more movie reviews like this one, hit subscribe and let me know what you thought of Can You Ever Forgive Me in the comments section below.